I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
Our most loved ones, kids, hooked on technology and disconnected from nature. And we, as parents, try to encourage them to go outside, explore and play, and teach them history. Yet, it seems hopeless at times. Nokta Macro. Introducing the world's first waterproof kids detector series. Mini and Midi Horde. Easy to use. Lightweight and compact. Finds, discriminate, and pinpoint. Just like an adult's detector. Share your hobby with your kids to build great family memories. Let your kids discover a world full of adventure, experience and excitement of discovery right outside their door. Mini and Midi Horde, world's first waterproof kids detector series for the young treasure hunters of the future.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Thursday, it's 8 o'clock, and it's the Big Detecting Show. And this is Mr. Adrian Gayler. I went the wrong way then, Adrian.
Sorry. Oh, it's the wrong way.
Hope you're all well. Let's go into the chat room quickly. Nick West, who's always early. Darren Booth, Metal Nick Detecting, Dominic Tomschick, Bob Hope. Not the Bob Hope, but a Bob Hope, but the Bob Hope. Metal Detecting in Devon, Detecting the Mitten, Mr. Facebook User, my favourite person, David E. Jones, Mr. Facebook User again, Carl Hudson, Tom Trussell, Mr. Facebook User, Ian Bird, Metal Detecting in Devon, Detector Network, and that's Scott Holden, and Mr. Facebook User, and Scotty B. And Kevin Parker. Hello, everybody. Well, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of bad news to start off with. The show supposed to be featuring a Reuben Horde. Unfortunately, we've been in communication last night, and everything was going swell, but unfortunately, the guest seems to have disappeared. So sadly, you're stuck with me and Mr. Gayler, but we've thrown a few things around, and we still hope to have a fun-filled, faction-packed show for you instead. No news broadcast, the pre-news thing again. We haven't been able to do that this week, so we'll hopefully get that back on next week. But we do have news, we do have interviews, and we do have lots of other things. So look at this, new people I haven't seen on here before. Stephen Bailey, I know Stephen Bailey. Hello, Stephen Bailey. Stan's lad, you got to have to apologise straight away. Martin Han Napple. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. And Brad Woolley. You can say the next ones. How are you, Mr. Gayler?
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks, Dave. Yeah, a bit of a hectic week, but
I hear that.
Yeah, parents, illnesses, care homes, hospitals, a bit of a nightmare. But
Ouch.
I think that's one of the it comes to us all in our stage of life. But fortunately, I've got a lovely hobby, like a lot of people watching on here tonight, where you can go out and just forget everything and chillax, which I'm looking forward to this lovely weekend because it's going to be really hot and sunny. No, it's wet and windy and raining, and Storm Alex is coming. But I'll be out there. Got a new permission as well this week. I'm okay. I'm fine. And it's your son's birthday this week, I understand.
It certainly is. It's Archeo Boy's birthday today. It's his 8th birthday. Getting him in there early. Getting him metal detecting and into archaeology early.
Yeah. Did you get him a machine?
No, not yet. They're still not out and about it as yet, are they? I'm not sure if they are. Got him a microscope, and he's been besotted with it. He wants to be a scientist currently and an archaeologist when he's older. So we've got him a microscope, and him and his slides, he's not put them down, which is ace, really.
If he's a good boy,
he might get one of them.
The new MIDI hoard from Nocta Macro. World's first waterproof children's detector.
And we're
this week. So
we're hopefully going to be having a little unboxing of that this evening, are we not?
Yes, it doesn't look too complicated. It reminds me of Barbie toys.
Well, it is for 7-year-olds, mate. I'm sure you're going to be able to cope there.
Dads always have to open them on Christmas Day, and I recall many years of spending about 2 hours opening things. But yeah, I'll open it up. It literally just got it today. Does look really good from the quality of it. So I'll open that up in a minute.
I always like the jigsaws, 5 to 6 years. I done one in 4 years once. I was made up.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Been out. I know next week we've got a special guest on, haven't we? Mr. Martin Bass.
Yes, we do.
But I've been out this week with the old Evo, C-Scope Evo 6000. Been testing that out. It's had a few little issues, production issues, software.
I'm not going to ask you any leading questions on the C-Scope. We can talk about that, obviously, with Martin. And one of the things we want to talk about is how easy they are to snap when you drop them.
Yeah, I just properly dropped it, but it looks okay. But I've been out with that, and it's good, well-made machine. So we'll talk with Martin about that next week.
Fantabulous.
Yeah.
So tonight we do have, obviously, I've got some news items lined up. We have the Diggers Dips draw at 8:45, and I'm going to pull up Detector Network, and we're going to have a bit of a scroll through Detector Network just to show people what it's like. I've changed my password now, so I'm in, Adrian. And I'll let Adrian give a bit of a talk about that. But also, I think what else we could do, that is the totally wrongest shaped hat I've ever seen in my life.
It literally...
Yeah, that's better.
Came out the box today. Good quality, actually. I bought that myself. I didn't get it for free.
But you're also hopefully going to be giving us a brief review of the recent Treasure Hunting magazine as well.
Yes, it's out
which,
today.
Personally, I think that we would like to make that a regular feature. If we can have a monthly, if you would be able to do a monthly review on the magazine, that'd be great.
Yep, 96 pages this month, absolutely full of stuff. Those who don't know, but most people do, it's been going since the 70s now. It's UK's most popular.
I've got a drawer full of 70s issues here, mate.
Of what?
Treasure Hunting magazine.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant those other magazines you were showing me. So this month there's news and views, some interesting stuff about tokens and the history behind the 17th century ones issued in Norwich. Hideaway half crown. Guy auctions off some rare Charles I half crowns. Hoarder Henrys. Henry III pennies. Silver shilling. Beautiful Charles I shilling found on Newton Mission. Some research on that. I haven't read this yet. I should have done, but introducing the fines liaison officers each month. Treasure Hunting magazine have a spotlight with fines liaison officers, so it might be in your area, which is always interesting to know. Chris Rudd, some recent discoveries of monastic research and writing the story of coins about the royal family. A bit about shells and seashells. Obviously, sort of like mudlarking, because that's becoming very popular now. People just looking at surface finds.
It certainly is. We are actually going to be having a brief look at some mudlarking in a moment when I get to the news. So, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, that's all right. Mudlarking is in the magazine. We do have articles on that every other month, but it is becoming very popular. And my favourite, Readers' Finds. I always like Readers' Finds. It's great. You can get people who are regular submitters and also people who first time they've been out detecting quite often will submit it to us. You can submit it through the Treasure Hunting magazine website. I think it's got a bit up there, Dave, submit a find or something, or you can submit it, upload the image, bit of text, and click OK, and it will send it directly to Julian Evan Hart, the editor, and he'll get back to you. We currently have a huge backlog. It's gone crazy this year. There's a lot of finds people have been having. So if you do have a find, submit it, and we'll try our best to put it in the magazine. And also, if you're lucky, you might get you probably will get a phone call from Julie and Jules, giving you some background and further research. So it's almost like your sort of free consultation with an archaeologist, because he quite often likes getting back to you on things. So out today, £4.10, cheaper than a pint of beer. Well, it is near me anyway.
Where do you live?
Yeah.
I've just had one for £3.50.
No.
San Miguel as well.
What?
£3.50
in the pub?
Yeah.
Whoa. No, it's not that cheap down here. But
you just Southern Softies.
96 pages. UK's biggest selling metal detecting magazine, has been for 40 years, and we pride ourselves on having really good content in there. So I write the reviews on and field test the machines. So the C-scope will be in there in the next few months after I've had a good go with it. But yeah, and obviously we're owned by Greenlight Publishing, so greenlightpublishing.com. Not a lot of people are aware, but it's a massive website full of
it is.
Books and information specifically for metal detecting, and there's some lovely books in there with some great illustrations. So,
well, I think most people will know the one that was released a couple of years ago, Finds Identified, which was a phenomenal book.
Yeah.
But that's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so many similar quality, and there's many by Julian himself in there.
Yeah, there is, and we work closely with the British Museum on working with them on those finds. And of course, we do Sphinx and many. Oh God, look at me on the front there with the Vanquish. But yeah, Greenlight Publishing, ship worldwide as well. So wherever you are in the world, we will ship it worldwide. But some great books there. Some have been published for like 20 years, but they really are relevant to today.
Yeah,
they're good. They're very good.
They are fantastic. I'll just while Luke's scrolling through that, I'll say hello to a few more people. Steve Tomlinson, one of my favourite guests that we've had on here, mudlarker and archaeologist, which is why we're going to be mentioning mudlarking momentarily. Mr. Facebook user, 4-Tone Searchers, Cy Weller. Good evening, Cy. Didn't know there could have been anyone that one then. Stan's Lad, Paul Grimley, 4-Tone Searchers again, Scotty B again, Carl Hudson, Chris Bailey from Diggers Dips, Nicola Roberts, Dave D. Natalia, all the way from the US of A, Team XP USA. Good evening, Dave. Hope you're well. Diggers UK, Scott and Kimmy DeBay, Jamie Hodkinson, Lee Hull, John Bird, Kevin Parker, San Miguel, €2 in Spain for Nick West. Oh. That'd end up messy. Oh. Well, I'm going to share the screen, Mr. Higgins, and we'll briefly have a look at what news articles are there. And there's only 3. Don't worry, there's not many. In fact, there's only 2 because one seems to have disappeared, but I'll find them in a minute. Anyway, the first one is this one. This is not news per se, But we all know there's multiple mudlarking groups regarding London and the Thames. But Steve Tomlinson, he's made one for Kent, and obviously that's where he lives. Bit of background: mudlarking finds in Kent is a friendly group where members can share their finds from rivers, streams, fields, and beaches across Kent. So, and there he is with his lovely Roman pot. So, and his shoe as well. So, crack on over there to learn more all about mudlarking finds in Kent, or if you were in Kent yourself, or if you go mudlarking in any way, shape, or form there or thereabouts. In the Mail Online, Ghost of Teutoburg, stupid pop-ups, massacre emerges after 2,000 years. Armour of Roman legionary who was sacrificed by Germanic tribesmen and cooked in a pot is found at the site of battle where 20,000 soldiers from 3 legions were wiped out in 9 AD. Archaeologists working in Kalkreis in Germany have found a Roman cuirass. It's believed to be the oldest and most complete find of its kind ever made. The armour belonged to a soldier involved in the Battle of Teutoburg Forest. And there you go. Oh, what would you do if you found that, Adrian?
Panic. But yeah.
You'd do a little wee, wouldn't you?
Sexy wee, yeah, definitely. 100%. Yeah. Yeah, you don't know really, do you?
Don't know how to do this now. How'd you go left and right? How'd you go left and right?
Use your
says one of 11 and it'll give me a left and right.
Use your arrows on your keyboard. Does that move it?
Oh, look, there you go. Modern technology. Absolutely stunning. I'll speak over this. The other article that I brought up was regarding finds liaison officers, as you just mentioned, from Treasure Hunting magazine, and I think it is the Isle of Wight or thereabouts, that the one who's been there for quite some time is actually retiring, so they're looking for somebody in that area, and that obviously means that the area is going to be slowed down when it comes to processing finds in the near future as well. So that's where Kalkreis is, just north of Munster in Germany.
Oh,
look at that. I like the fact that you've showed me these arrows now. That just gives me a whole new ability to do things that I've not been able to in the past. It's like when I got the internet. Wow. They look like Valkyries there. They couldn't have wore them on their heads.
No. Nice picture, though.
Lovely. So there you go. And now we'll go straight, as we're here already, we'll go in. Let's see if it lets me sign in yet. Oh, it's let me in now. Anyway, this, for those who don't know, is Detector Network, which is basically Facebook, but not Facebook. A social media for metal detectorists, similar to the Facebook, but not.
Yeah, we should have. Yeah, we should. Scott, I think Scott's in. Yeah, he's here today. Hi, Scott.
Yes. Hello, Scott.
He's probably going, tell him about this, tell him about that. Yeah, I mean, the thing I like about it is it's quite slick, and you've got your instant chat on there. There's not so much forums. There's places to find. There is a forum on there, but the way the thing works, you don't need a forum. And you can buy and sell stuff. I'm trying to think what there is on there. There's loads on there. I keep finding things every day, but it's getting a big. Oh look, snake skin. I've got one.
I'm after a snake skin. Somebody said they'd send me one, but I can't remember who it was.
I'll send you one. I've got a couple. Yeah. So you can see who's online, friends of yours and stuff like that. But
I've just had to stop at this. Bram van de Veer, 11 kilogram cannonball.
Whoa.
Found in process of excavating and cleaned up. That's stunning.
I'd love a cannonball.
Oh, mate, me too. Do you know I'd done an organised rally for the mayor of Rochdale, and it was the first time I'd met Dave Donaghy, who an old friend of mine he married, and she asked my opinion of metal detectors and such like. So I told him what to get. He come up and he found a gold coin on this particular rally, and some guy comes up to me and he's like, "Do you mind taking this down there?" And I'm thinking it's just rubbish. Cannonball. Of Couldn't believe my eyes.
Yeah. No, I'd love a cannonball. It'd be a nice doorstop in the house. But yeah, you've got it in the normal mode. If you click the top of the screen, you can go in dark mode, which is quite cool. But I think I put my first finds with the Evo in there. Keep going down.
I was actually going to search for it. Oh, there you are. If I go on there. Oh no, that's chatting.
Yeah, that could.
Tell me when. Oh, there it is. There it is.
So, yeah, I shouldn't really have had that in the house. Found
what, the Evo?
No. Found that's now safely disposed of. Found a lovely middle of fields, some trees at the weekend, and a dried up pond, and it was lovely because normally when you detect in a pond, you find like tin cans, a load of absolute trash. But this was so far in the middle of the field. I think the only things in it were shotgun cartridges, which fair enough. But the rest of it, there's obviously been some dumped ammunition, but also found some melted aluminium. So we're wondering if a plane crashed there in the war. And
so what round's that?
I think it's anti-aircraft. It's 5. Oh, I did know 5.
Ask Julian, he'll know.
Yeah, the other picture there. Sorry, you still got it.
That one.
Yeah, that's. I was quite pleased with that. That was a day out, so I've got a lovely selection there.
Yeah,
some
you have.
Knuckles, bit of a snuff tin, Crotal Bell, some old pennies, some nice collection of buttons. But the land we were on was very dry, believe it or not, and I was only getting down about 6 inches. But the C-scope picked them up really well. A hell of a bang when you get a signal. But yeah, so yeah.
I've just clicked like on that, and I noticed the different emojis that you got.
Go on,
Scott, can we have one that goes, because I think a yawning one's needed definitely on social media.
It is when, too many videos posted. You 50 caliber. Thanks, Nick West. 50 caliber round. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So as you can see, for those who haven't been on before, this is Detector Network. We thought we'd give you a bit of a look at that, just so obviously Mr. Gayler could talk about the couple of finds he's had with his Evo, which I'm not going to let him talk about because we're going to leave that till next week because we've got Martin Bass on from C-Scope, so obviously we'll be able to discuss things a little bit more in depth. So there you go.
Network. I spoke to Scott at Detector Network this week, and the app is at the Play Store, the Google Play Store, but he's just doing a few final tweaks, which is he's very much a perfectionist, and he wants it to be 100%. So that will be available very soon. And I think the ability just to have an app on your phone to mess about like we all do will definitely benefit more people signing up. But yeah, it's getting quite popular. Very big with the Americans. They love. If you want to post stuff and get loads of likes, put it on there because the Americans love our history.
They certainly do. They
Yeah.
certainly do. We've had guests on in the past, like name's gone. Chris Langston from Shropshire, who operates the metal detecting holidays, and obviously the Americans coming over to him absolutely love it. And when I've met KG and Ringy the several times, me and them have sat and spoke. They absolutely adore coming over here just because of the finds that they're able to. In fact, if I'm not wrong, when they were over last year, I'm sure Ringy found something of consequence that was classed as treasure, and he was just beside himself with that. So we've got a question for you, one or two actually. Darren Bruce says, I found a clip of live World War II Enfield bullets in an aid dried up pond. And Lee Hull asks, any news on the new Rutus? Tony and obviously Adrian, you may know as well. Not on Facebook at the moment, so he's not hearing the gossip.
No.
Hope you are well, Lee.
Well, hi, Darren. Darren's on the Detector Network, regularly chat with him, see his finds. Yeah, I mean, when you find a clip of World War II bullets like that, I normally put them in the shed, tighten them up in a vice, and hit the end with a nail just to check that they're not live.
Has anything ever gone bang?
I was joking. It's interesting because immediately you find live ammunition, you should leave it and call the police, bomb disposal expert.
But to be fair, Adrian, when you find live ammunition, I'm sure there'll be other people, but I wouldn't know whether it's live or not. Is it got the end bit on it, the spiky bit?
Yeah, it's got the point on, and the whole thing's there, the bottom case and the point at the end. And also, if you look at just a shell, it'll normally have a hole in the end where the pin and the guns hit it. But obviously, if it's not been hit, although that one I've got found, 50 caliber, that actually has been hit and hasn't gone off.
Right.
But I don't know. It's a bit like when we were kids and people said never put fireworks in your pocket because John down the road lost his leg. Ammunition like that can go off at any time, and to have a 50 caliber go across your lounge probably isn't very good. So
it'd be a good talking point.
Yeah. My dad, when my dad grew up in the Second World War, and he used to find live ammunition in the street, and him and his mates used to put it in a vice in the shed and hit it with a nail and watch it roar out. But man,
when you say it's supposed to be reported to police, bomb disposal, etc. Diggers UK, Scott DeBay, he asks even one bullet. Yeah,
it should be. Yeah, I mean, very sadly, it's a serious thing because it not only harm you, but it could harm. There could be kids going in there playing, and it could take. It's like a bomb. It's sitting there. It might go off. It might not. It is a bit of a faff because I've had friends who've gone into the police station with probably half a bucket of ammunition, and sometimes the station doesn't know how to deal with it, and they end up sending in the armed police. And where did you get it from? Metal detecting, did you? And unfortunately, that policeman last week got shot, didn't he? And that was originally from. He arrested that guy, and the guy was arrested for having live ammunition in his pocket after a search. But unfortunately, they didn't search him for the gun, and then he went into the cell and pulled the gun out and shot the policeman. So
ridiculous.
So he was being tested for COVID, I've heard, and when they opened the cell up, he just 5 shots in the policeman's chest and then 1 in his head.
Wow.
But I think ammo, you should definitely report it and don't bring it at home and put it in a pot next to the radiator. The other question was the routers.
Yes.
Tony, me and Tony have like little chats, messaging each other. Something's coming out soon. I haven't read the chat, so apologies if Tony's already said it. But there's going to be an announcement soon, I think, Tony, isn't there?
There he is. All I've seen him say is good evening to people.
Yeah, next month.
Nothing specific, though I expect more news in the next month or so.
Yeah. And speaking to Eric last year, the maker of the Root Assault 71, there's going to be some pretty unique features on it, the new machine. And if it's as good as the old machine, which I still love, I'm really lucky. I've got 8 metal detectors, one of them being the routers. And
you're really lucky.
Yeah. And the routers, I don't know, I just love taking it out. It's different to a lot of other machines. It finds things, and it's a bit heavy, fair enough, and it takes batteries that aren't rechargeable, although you can recharge them. But it's nice tone. So the new one, hopefully, it's going to be more compact. All the sort of things we like in a detector: lightweight, compact, rechargeable, waterproof, all those sort of things.
Doesn't break when you knock it over.
No, the C-scope's fine.
Your lad's been in with some gaffer tape and sorted that out, no doubt.
Yeah.
What time are we on? We're on 8:30. So in 15 minutes, we'll be having the Diggers Dips draw. Now, Diggers Dips, obviously their first draw ended for the month of September for the daily draws. That ended yesterday. I'm not 100% sure who the winners are because I've not been able to go on today because I've been too darn busy. But the new month has started today, and not only is it obviously the big prize is going to be at the end of the month, but also there's going to be interim prizes, I believe, also. And I forgot what Chris's name is, so I can't remember what his message said. It's Chris Bailey, that's why. I was looking for Ian for some reason. Yes, the Diggers Trips that started today, there'll be extra prizes randomly added to the game throughout the month. So I thoroughly enjoy it. Morning break time when I'm still half asleep at 10 a.m. I click on my phone and have me 15 minutes playing on Diggers Dips, going for a little bit of a metal detect. So I quite enjoy that. It's ace, to be fair. I've had a lot of people. Well, I've had some people in particular. The game is actually called Diggers Digs. Thank you, Chris. I've had a few people say to me, "Well, it's betting. It's a betting site." Well, it's not, is it? Because let's face it, over the lockdown period, the amount of prize draw, raffles, etc. that started up on Facebook, it's somebody at the end of the day is lining their pockets with money. I know somebody who I used to work with is making £1,000 a month from doing raffles for new pairs of trainers, earpad things, whatever. I'm dead technical, I am. And this, I know for a fact how well it's run, and I know it's giving money to charity every month. And it's also somewhere that also offers the platform for other people to be a part of it as well. So get on Diggers Digs. It's there and it's real and it's trustworthy as far as I'm concerned, and I give it plaudits. Into the chat room again. Nick West will be giving talks about World War II ammo soon. I'd like to hear that, to be honest, Nick. I certainly would.
Bit worried about the comment he said just after that.
If you have live ammo, you can get 5 years. Oh, didn't know that. Carl Hudson says, what's the iron separation like on the Rutus?
Good. Excellent. Yeah, really, really good. I think if you're interested in, I don't know if you can see a lot on YouTube, but until you actually get the machine in your hands and look at the reaction speed, the iron there's also a thing on it called a holograph display. You've probably seen it. So you've got your visual ID, your tones, and you've got like this little graph, and it's 99 times out of 100 correct. And if you look at Tony Kaywood's TC Detects YouTube channel, you'll see it. So if you've got iron, you'll hear the tone, but sometimes you can be a bit sketchy. But the chart will go like that, or it'll little fragments of it. Whereas if you've got a silver or a hammered, you just get pretty much a straight line.
You see, I didn't realise that about the graph. Obviously, me being a technophobe to a degree, I didn't realise that.
Yeah, it's I love it. If I've got a new permission detect and it's really trashy or it's got a lot of green waste on it, I'll go on it first with the Rutus because it really does. I can't remember the last time I dug iron with the Rutus, and it is good for that. It is very good. It's well made machine as well.
I personally found that I didn't dig much iron. I was able to tone it out, but one issue that I did have, which I still have with other machines, is big iron. Big iron gives off the higher signals, and I'm like, do I dig it or don't I? I can never make my mind up, and I still don't really appreciate the machines that I've used enough to trust it to dig it or not. So sometimes I may walk away from something that I think's a big piece of iron, and sometimes I think no, I'm definitely digging it. You know, your gut feeling. I'm working on my gut feeling at that point, and I'll dig it, and it's a big piece of iron. So that's the only time. But as I say, on other machines, it's exactly the same for me. A big bit of iron usually pops up as very jumpy, but I've had jumpy tones that I've dug, and it's been a coin. So swings and roundabouts.
I'm a bit of a fool. I just dig everything, really. You have to. Well, when I'm testing machines, I have to dig everything. So, you know, you saying, "Oh, lucky you got 8 machines," and all that. Yeah, it is great. But when you go out not knowing a machine on a new permission, and your mate is pulling stuff hammered up left, right, and centre, and you're still trying to work out the settings on the machine, it's a bit frustrating. And
well, that's the point, that you get the machine that you least like and you wrap it round his skull.
Yeah,
kids at home, I'm only joking.
No. Or you sellotape or gaffer tape a ring pull to the bottom of his machine when he's not looking. But yeah, no, it's sometimes it's hard work going out of a new machine. And I mean, the C-scope, for example, is totally new interface, totally new layout. It's easy to use, but I spent probably 2 or 3 hours messing about whilst my mate's like got his, he's got a router. No, he's got a Knox net. He's got both Knox 800 and routers, and he was just flying across the field. But it's one of those things you do, isn't it? So.
Let me have a look. TC says it's a lot that Adrian has 8 machines and the routers is still his preference. The app isn't yet available, 4-tone searches. That'll be up in a couple of weeks. Scott's a bit of a OCD, I think, and he wants it perfect, which is the right thing to do. You wouldn't sell a new machine on the market if it wasn't right, so why do that?
Even though the app's free?
Even though the app is free. Yeah. Dirt Diggers UK says the Cruiser makes a specific noise for big iron. It sounds like a window alarm. Do you know, it's at these points that I want to say to Scott, what's a window alarm sound like? And hear him go, ew, or something like that in American accents, because that'd be far superior to what I just did. What time are we on? We're on 36. Well, what we'll do, Adrian, after the Diggers Dips, we'll get that right. Diggers Dips draw at 8:45. Luke will play the adverts. We'll have a look at the readers' finds from this week, and if it's okay with yourself, we'll have a grand unboxing of that mammoth machine in front of you.
The mini Horde. Yes, we certainly will. MIDI Horde.
MIDI?
I don't know. I don't know if I've got.
Can I ask? Obviously, you're going to be testing the machine, the MIDI Horde.
I've actually got a child.
Right. So the child's going to be using it. Are you personally going to get on your knees and do it?
Yeah, I'm going to use it. I'll tell you what. It's not a toy. I think.
I wouldn't suggest it's a toy. I've seen it at Detectable. I totally appreciate that.
Let's say, for example, your pinpointer's broken, and let's say you're on holiday and you're sitting on the beach. If you like detecting, you'll detect with any machine as long as it works. And I personally can see myself just playing with that in the garden and having fun. I'm going to do some iron separations and discrimination tests, but it's waterproof. I will have a play. I will detect. I might even film myself and show it on the next thing. If I squat on my knees and go across the field with it. But yeah, I reckon if the shaft was bigger, although it does start to 13 years old. So, do
you know what will be an absolute mesmerising thing to occur? A hoard or a discovery of historic proportions by a mini or a MIDI hoard. A youngster actually finding something major of consequence. That would be awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's that young lad the other week with the Vanquish that found the strap of gold, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was only about 10. So I think the difference is kids. When my mate James, who I detect with, I don't think he's in the chat tonight, we knew each other as neighbours when we were about 8 or 9. And my dad had an old C-scope and he had something his dad brought the boots out. When you're young and you're enthusiastic, you will just, the energy's in you, isn't it? So kids will probably dig where we think, it's probably iron or it's a ring pull. Kids will keep digging and they will dig up and dig and dig and dig. So potentially, if I was to put money on it, I'd probably if it was on someone like me, a 50-year-old bloke with a good machine and a kid with a good machine but very active, I'd probably put the money on the kid finding something better.
Yeah, fair play.
I think it goes quite deep as well. It's not like the, I can't say the name, the ones you buy on certain e-commerce sites that are supposedly part of a big brand.
Similar to Power Rangers machines.
Yeah, it might have the word science in it or something, but they literally go like that deep and use the batteries up in 30 minutes, whereas this is rechargeable. And I think it goes a good 6 inches, which, is not bad for £100.
Mm.
So, and it's waterproof. So,
is it waterproof?
Yeah.
Oh, you hadn't mentioned.
Yeah, it's to 3 foot, 1 metre. It's the world's first waterproof children's metal detector. And I think that's a USP they've got to push because it's not the world's first metal detector, but it is the world's first. It's got a pinpointer function built in, backlight, rechargeable battery. Yeah. And it comes in, I mean, the way they're selling it, I'll show you before. It is boxed for kids. You know what I mean? But it reminds me of Action Man. Did you have Action Man, Dave?
Yeah.
Yeah. It reminds me of I get a little bit excited looking at it because they give you a sneak peek through the plastic. But yeah, it also comes with a digging tool and a little sieve for kids as well. But I haven't got that one.
So, is it waterproof?
Yes, to 3 foot. Sorry. IP68 if you want an ingress protection 68.
That means nothing to me.
That's good.
Where are we now? 4 minutes 50 till the draw. Oh, what am I doing here? I'm on the wrong one.
But the MIDI, it also comes with like transfers to put on it for kids. Like if you're a girl, sorry, got to be politically correct. If you're a boy and you like pink, or if you're a girl and you like blue, it comes with different transfers to put on the screen and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Now, Chris Bailey's messaged me because I'm forgetful. I should write things down more. The game, Digs, restarted today. 5 top prizes for the top monthly scorers. And for this month, we are randomly hiding some instant win accessories in the field. I actually picked up free goes on it last month. I was one of only a few people to do that. And you also get 2 free games every day. So if you buy additional tokens for that, you let's say, top of my head, £1 will buy you 3 more goes, for instance. Don't quote me on that. So you can play as many times as you want, but you have to pay for anything over your 2 free games a day. So it's well worth it. Even if you're just playing your 2 games a day, you could end up with stupid amounts of points and end up winning something of consequence, which I believe last month's was a Nocta Macro Simplex, I think. So anyway, last week's draw, we had Rob Random, who isn't in the room tonight. Rob Random's always here. And he actually won the Digs draw last week. Next week, I've got to speak to Chris Bailey because on the kind behalf of Treasure Hunting Magazine, in fact, Adrian, you can say it.
What? Sorry. I was
the prize for next week.
Oh, yeah. All expenses paid trip. Flight to no, something else. Yeah, it's annual subscription, free annual subscription to Treasure Hunting Magazine. So 50 quid's worth for free, delivered to your door just before it goes out in the shops as well. So you get it first before anyone else. And believe you me, it's I would say it's a good magazine, but it's so nice when you get all your bank statement through your post and COVID alerts, and then you suddenly get your favourite hobby dropped through the letterbox.
Yeah.
And,
it's a fantastic prize, and thank you, obviously, to Dan and Jules on yourself for that. So we'll sort that out, or I'll sort that out with Chris over the coming days for next week's draw. Where am I now? We're 1 minute 33 away. So as I said, next week's draw, which I'll put up on the Big Metal Detecting Show Facebook group this weekend via Diggers Dips, will be for a year's subscription for Treasure Hunting Magazine. The following week, we have a big package via Graham Dempsey to celebrate the first year of the Composite Pencil Company. The post has disappeared at the moment. I believe somebody thought that the gladiator in his title actually meant something regarding weapons, and he's been banned for a few days from Facebook. Luke, I'm sharing the screen. So that should be back up, I'm hoping, for tomorrow. So it is still there. We've had nearly 500 entries up to now for the draw in 2 weeks, and I'd love to see something similar for next week's draw for the free year's subscription for Treasure Hunting Magazine on next week's show, which is Martin Bass from Seascope. So we've got 14 seconds, and as you'll see every week, It's like a random number generator. It'll count down the 3 numbers to, and then straight away announce the winner. So draw starting in 5, 4, 3, 2. We need Aaron Weedle this. Go on, Adrian. You're the co-host, so you can do the numbers.
27.
I'll go 15.
Actually, I'll go 136 because it can't be lower.
Nah. What was your first number? 27?
Yeah, better not be.
Oh, it's going to be 15, isn't it? I got it right last week as well.
12.
Number 12. And the winner is Grail Trooper. So, well done to Grail Trooper. I thought it was Gail Tilsley then. You will be notified, and the 10 Diggers Dips tokens will be credited to your account. So thank you very much to Chris and the team for doing that again. And we will be going to adverts any moment.
I'm Dave D, and you're watching XP Team USA.
Hey, don't fill up on that. We got breakfast coming.
Hey, Peter, I think I figured out one way we can save money for Stewie's college. If we bundle our cable and internet together, we can save $14 a month.
No, bundling is a sign of defeat. Plus, I figured out something better. A metal detector.
What?
Yeah, it combines 2 of America's greatest resources, garbage and luck.
That's stupid, Peter.
You're just saying that because the battery it uses causes bladder cancer. Well, then I'm off. I shall be at the beach looking for valuables and occasionally using a doorless bathroom. Good day, madam.
We now return to the Awkward Stepdad Show.
Man, your mom's a real groaner. Do you hear that in your room?
Hey, Dad, where are you going?
Well, Meg, now that I'm a metal detector guy, I gotta start eating breakfast at On the Sand cafes, where I will judge tourists as my skin browns and hardens. Stop throwing your kids' diapers in the trash with all the soda cans. Hey, Lois, check out what I found with my metal detector.
Are those Purple Hearts?
Yeah, some idiot buried like 100 of them in this big lawn under these bone cages.
Peter, I think you desecrated a military graveyard.
Hey, guys, like 4 Jeeps just drove up onto our front yard.
They must be here for the medals.
Maybe. Or it could be because of my I'm Gonna Barf on the White House blog. Ah, sweet! Huh. Wonder what happens if I turn it on and point them at each other. Oh, my God!
Did you also call into a talk show without turning down your radio first?
Jackpot! Wow, an iPad! This thing finds everything! Engagement ring! Family locket! Sunglasses that are an upgrade over my current pair!
There he is! There's the guy who's been stealing everyone's stuff!
Don't yell at me, I'm very sunburned! Go, crappy car, go!
Peter, did you rob a bunch of people on the beach with your metal detector?
Well, that's only half the story. I also hooted at a lady who was breastfeeding.
I want you to get rid of that metal detector. All you're doing is getting into trouble and digging up junk when we really need to be saving for Stewie's college. Tomorrow we are going to the mall and returning that thing to the store.
Okay, fine. But you should know, the day I bought this metal detector was the happiest day of my life.
And there you have a cartoon character directly based upon myself.
Can you detect on nude beaches?
I, incidentally, the group Tempest that I chair, we did a plot of land next to it, a field owned by a chap we know called Axel. And the fence surrounding the field, the other side of the fence was a nudist colony.
I was going to say, 'cause there can't be many fines. No one's got any copies. There might be a few.
There should be more fines then.
Find a few piercings, but I wouldn't want to pick them up. But, yeah,
and also, congratulations to Tom Trussell, aka Grail Trooper, who's won the £10 of Diggers Dips. Right, what's he said here to me now? Hold on. Chris Bailey says to say Diggers Digs, Diggers Dips, Diggers Digs 3 times fast, Mr. Sadler. Okay? Diggers Digs, Diggers Dips, Diggers Digs 3 times fast, Mr. Sadler. There you go, done it. No problem. So well done to Tom on that, and thanks again to Diggers Dips. Adrian, shall we have a look at this week's readers? Sorry, I always say readers' finds. I'm not bloody doing the magazine here. I'm doing the telly. Viewers' finds. Mr. Higgins, if you will. Am I there yet? Are we seeing anything yet?
Yes,
we are. This was last week's guest, Chris Weller. It's his first hammered coin. And I think it is a King James Irish coin, Si said. So Si had a fantastic find this week, and he put up what he thought it was, and it ended up being something totally different, and it was quite hilarious, to be honest. So that'll be the Irish harp on the back, won't it?
That's nice.
It is, it's lovely. So well done, Chris, on your first hammered.
It's always nice when you find your first hammered.
This is Darren Richardson. His finds. Now, Darren, he's been having some absolutely beautiful lead tokens off a particular site, 2 weeks on the run. I think he's got a few more in the bottom there. Not as many markings on them as the other ones, but still, nonetheless, he's been getting some great things from what I presume is the same site. Close-up of his silver. Is that a hammered as well?
Dave, I'm on a very small laptop. I can't see, but it looks...
Put your glasses on.
No.
Hold on. Let me go back. Is that better?
Yeah. That sixpence is next to it.
Yeah. That looks hammered.
Yeah, it does. Very warm.
That's a close-up of the one I've just actually... Yeah, it's very worn.
So hammered, though?
I'm pretty sure he said either Elizabeth or Henry the VIII grout. Pretty sure that's what I saw. This is Ian Jackson. Some beautiful book buttons. They'll look lovely when obviously he's cleaned them, but if you put a bit of preservative or beeswax or something on that, they'll look really nice, buffed up.
Do you know what? I find the wax works absolutely amazing with buttons more than anything. I'm just I found one that dropped the bloody C-scope, dropping everything. Yeah, I find
Dropsy!
Yeah. I find buttons come up really well with the wax. You really can see the detail. So,
do you know, I found I was with Dudley Detecting Club one weekend, and I found silver. I've got a photograph of it, but the fines box I was using wasn't my normal fines box, and I didn't realise it didn't shut properly. End of story.
I found a nice Roman the other weekend. Put it in my pocket because my dad's in hospital and he loves coins. And I put it in my pocket and I thought, I'll get my hair cut before I go to the hospital. So I put it in my pocket, went in the barber's, sat in the chair talking to him about stuff and all that, left, went to the hospital, put my hand in my pockets, come out, checked the car, checked around the pavement everywhere. So someone's gone for a haircut and found a 1,500-year-old coin in the chair. Nicely cleaned and preserved, and I keep thinking it was going to hit the national news or something. Man, 15-year-old, 1,500.
15,000?
Well, no, 1,500-year-old coin in the barber's chair.
It'd be quite hilarious if they handed it into the FLO and they actually plotted that on the map, wouldn't it?
yeah, it was a bit messy. But...
Now, this is a key by Ian Jackson again. Lovely looking key.
Yeah.
The end of it's triangular. There you go.
Oh, wow. It's good condition.
It is, very.
Never find many keys.
I've found a couple of Yale.
Oh, yeah. I found locker keys and stuff. But
do you know, I've been doing my shed this week. I have the 7B5 shed. And as I'm off this week, I decided to start my extension up to, now it's 9B8. And I was asked if I'd like a set of drawers. So I said, yeah, I'll have a set of drawers. So when I picked them up today, thinking I'll have them in there, and when it's all done, because I've got a beautiful late-foot kitchen worktop on beech legs, and I thought it should be fantastic. Have that in there, can move all my metal detecting stuff. Yeah. I had another set of drawers as well with a locker key and what have you. No room for any metal detecting stuff in there. Sorted through all my toolboxes.
That's the only downside to the hobby, is storing everything. I probably like everyone. I've got, oh, look at that, green screen. I've got just pots. Literally, I was just going through this because I found a crotal bell at the weekend, washed it up today. And
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
I can't see it, but I can hear the jingle jangle. Can I change the screen? No, I can't.
You can see it now, can't you?
No, hold on. No, it goes off when I'm on there. Goes all ballistics.
Yeah, so yeah, it's always nice when you get a ringing one. My mate James finds them nearly every time we go out.
I've never had one. Another thing I've never had.
It's amazing. I speak to a lot of people who've never had one, but they're quite common. It's finding a whole one that's nice.
These are Ian Jackson's finds that we're continuing to look through. Now, one thing, when I've just tried to look at your crotal bell then, and that wasn't a euphemism, last week Scott was telling us about some pipe tampers and he was showing them on screen. Sorry, not Scott, Cy Weller. I wasn't able to see them, so he's actually sent the images over, so be able to have a look at them in a moment for those who missed them. Again, this is Ian Jackson. And over to, who's JE now? Jamie Evans. I really need to start understanding what my own coding is. Florin. Now, this was the one by Cy Weller. And he, this was off the Dragoon site that we discussed last week. And he thought this was a spur. And it turns out that it's actually a Victorian pastry cutter.
Oh, wow.
But the thread was brilliant because I was just about to write, because somebody put, it's a pasta cutter, mate. And I was just about to put, it's not a pasta cutter, mate. Pasta wasn't in the UK till the 1960s. That's a lot older. And somebody else preempted me and went, that's a pastry cutter, mate.
That's nice,
So there you can see the pastry cutter in all its glory.
Still use that?
Yeah, definitely. Some silver he's had off the site this week. I'm wondering what this piece is at the top, the square. or rectangular piece.
Yeah.
A couple of hammers and a locket. I think it was gold, I'm pretty sure. Now, these are the pipe tampers, and they are absolutely stunning. Again, something that I haven't come across. That one looks a bit kinky. I'll zoom into that one for you, Adrian.
Ooh.
Bit sexy, isn't it?
Yeah. They're very good condition.
They are. They're beautiful. That one's a gun, and that one's a man. And that one's kinky.
When you say a man, is that Nelson? I can't see it.
It could be. His face looks a bit fat. It's a bit got a Desperate Dan going on there. And there's that kinky number again. I zoom into the kinky number. What's going on there?
Oh.
Are they under a massive mushroom? Is that like an LSD thing?
It could be the end of something else.
Well, I think most pipe tampers at the time were the ends of something else, weren't they? They were, things that had been snapped off, or I can use that for this.
No, very nice finds.
And this was a button that they had wanted the Inniskilling Regiment from the 4th Dragoons. Look, I've understood my own Roman numerals there. I'm usually rubbish at that.
Dave, how weird is that? Because I actually, not so long ago, found an Inniskilling cap badge.
Really?
And I've got it on the screen. I know you can't see it, but I've got an Inniskilling cap badge. And I've actually traced it back to whose it was.
Really?
And he died.
Oh, that was awesome.
Yeah. It's quite bizarre.
Would that have been Dragoon era for the site that they're looking at?
Yeah. No, basically, he lived in Essex and his family came from Ireland. He went back to Ireland during the First World War, signed up, and then he came back to where I live for a break. And whether he lost it in the fields with his girlfriend or whatever, or lady at the time, or he fell off his horse, and I dug it up a few months ago, and I've managed to trace it back. But he was the only one of that regiment who lived in my area at that time, and he died. He died in battle as a sergeant.
Could you remind me where you live, Adrian?
Essex. My house is built on a World War One army training camp. So
I remember you saying, yeah.
Yeah, a few months ago, when everyone was in lockdown going mad, I detected my garden, and the back garden was just full of tent pegs, ring pulls and trash. But my front garden, that sounds a bit funny, doesn't it? My front garden, it's not overgrown, it's nicely trimmed and pruned. It had some interesting finds, and I found lots of pennies, and I found a token from London Fish Market, and found some other things. So whether that was from the soldiers at their camp, but yeah.
This is Cy Weller, this week's finds. Another close-up of that square piece. I'm very interested as to what, and that's it. That's it for this week's show and tell. So thank you for all the people who put their images on there. That'd be fantastic. If anybody does want to show the finds on the show, all you have to do is put them on the Big Detecting Show Facebook group, and we'll go through them as we've done them every week. Let's see if we've missed anything. No, just had that. Stan's Lad said it looks like a Mary Groat. Stan's Lad also says the key looks like a barrel tap key, which TC Detects also agrees upon. David E. Jones, yes, I certainly do need to dig every beep. As I say, I shouldn't always go by my gut feeling. Pipe tamping porn. Tom Trussell says, I have a drawer I have drawer from back of gas fitters van in my shed. Ideal. Oh, I'm with you. I'm with him. I know what he means. And again, he agrees with you. Napoleon for the pipe tamper. So there you go. So are you? Let's have a look at this mini hoard if we can then.
Yeah, I've got a slight error. I said it had a rechargeable battery. It doesn't. I've just literally read the box. But yeah, it comes in a nice box like kids expect. All the plastic.
Loving the green screen element.
Yeah, it's clever, yeah. It's clever.
See-through machine.
I don't think anyone's done this yet on the internet. There's a bag. Some interesting bits. Quick guide for kids. And something in there, some like washers or something. Very simple instructions. Pull it out. Oh.
I might need to get one of these for myself then if it's simple.
Well, do you know what? It's only got a few cable ties. It's only got a few cable ties. I got the housing manager to bring me some scissors so I can... Oh, how lovely is this? Literally, couple of...
It's all going off.
Oh.
Dropsy.
We have...
We've got an invisible machine.
How's that work?
Turn your green screen off, can you?
How do I do that?
At the bottom, you've got where it says Cam Mic. Bottom of your laptop screen. At the bottom, you've got there it is. Now you can show it. Be all right now.
What about a brick wall? Oh,
no. Turn it off completely.
Wow, look at that.
Turn it off completely, and then there you go. You got it now.
Right. So we have the machine. That's literally how it's come out of the box. It's got. That's nice. I like that. So you've got no cable going round. That's cable tie, which I will pull off. And a bit of stuff. So it's literally a bit of...
Dropsy.
Probably shouldn't have pulled that off. So I think literally just put the shaft in.
Shaft.
Shaft. I tell you what, look at that. That is proper.
Solid, isn't it?
That is proper solid. And it's got a really good nut on there. So it's not going to break. Really. And look at that. Quick release. It's quite big, actually.
Is that the mini or the MIDI?
MIDI.
Right.
Even though it says mini horde on it, I think it's the mini horde. So pass it off. First, oh no, you know what's happened? I haven't got any batteries. But you can see on there, it's really easy to use. And this little thing here is a little light that goes green and red. For I think if you've got a good one.
Go and no go.
So yeah, and these are multi-function buttons. So if you keep your finger down on them, I think they change the volume or change the settings. It's a shame I haven't got the screen on, but look at that! Look at that little dinky.
What's that for? Where your thumb is? No, down. But is that just to screw the bits together?
What, this?
Yeah. Or is that a light or something? Pinpointer.
I don't know. It looks like a little light that flashes. I tell you what, I'm really impressed with the quality of this. I'm saying that. I don't work for Nocta Macro and I don't get any money from them, but if something's well made, I will say something. This is rubber. Look at that. It's a sleeve that goes over the thing. So that, I think Dilek said, and firstly, if she's watching or if she watches this on YouTube, thank you for sending it to us. This is great because this will grip. I don't know why other manufacturers don't put like silicone cup in the armrest because you get like a good grip in the arm. Very well made. This is like some sort of carbon, very light. But look at that little coil. Should have turned it on, shouldn't I, really?
What size is the coil about?
Well, if I put it against my head, which is...
So it's about a 28-incher?
No. Yes, madam. I'd say 6 inches, 6-inch coil. I think it does say on the box. But, yeah, very, very nice. I'm sorry I haven't got any batteries, but it takes 2 AA batteries, which isn't a lot, is it, really?
Yeah, mate, it's 2 here.
Oh,
wouldn't that be cool? They would pass them to you, and they actually took them off me. That'd be great.
If
you should have preempted this, shouldn't we?
Dave, if you keep talking, I've actually got 2 up here.
I'll keep talking then. Back over to the other side. Scotty B's liking Family Guy. And Dominic Tomschick says 6-inch. So he thinks it's a 6-inch coil as well. So do you like the new logo, ladies and gentlemen? A friend of mine, Mick Matson, created this one. He runs a music festival in Northwich called Rockwich, and he put out an awesome design. And I said, Mick, where'd you get that? That was absolutely mint. And he said, why? What you need? And he's come up with this. So this is our current logo that we're using. So thanks to Mick Matson for that. I used to work with him a number of years ago. Take the out of the rabbit. Tidy treasure hunter. Amy, that's gone all askew. So don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to be on the show, if you're interested in coming on the show, give us a shout via, if you're friends of mine or Luke's on Facebook, or Adrian, give us a shout and we'll organise something. Alternatively, via the Big Detecting Show Facebook group, if you give us a shout through there, I'll be more than happy to line you up as a guest in the near future. I think we are up to I think we've got 3 more guests after this week, and then we'll start filling up thereafter. I've asked 1 or 2 people who haven't got back in touch with me to come on the show, and I'm still to arrange with the chaps. Mine's gone black. Hamilton and Carl Cookson. Hamilton, I can't remember his last name's gone. Hamilton, no, from Lost Treasures of the Knights Templar. They're going to be coming on in the near future as soon as we can arrange it. COVID balls that up a wee bit. Daryl Miklos from Cooper's Treasure will be coming on the show. Again, that's unfortunate that he spends so much time out on the water doing what he does. I've also got to organise with Aquachigga, and who was the other one as well? Oh yeah, the father of the Kelly family in Gold Divers. Is that what it's called? Gold Divers. Alaskan Gold Divers. And you know the one I'm on about. The father of the Kellys, whose name eludes me because I haven't got it written down in front of me. He's agreed to come on a guest, but he's waiting for a wee while because they've got things in the pipeline. I'm not even 100% sure, by the way he was speaking to me, if the Kellys are going to be on next season's show or they're going to be doing something on themselves away from Nome. Also, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget lockdown. There's new rules in going on, and obviously that involves metal detecting rallies as well. And I know of 2 metal detecting rallies which the police were forced to make cancel lists last week. They appeared on site and people were turned away. I don't know why. I don't know the specifics. I'm not getting involved in the political side publicly. But please think before you drink, before you drive. Think about going on these rallies. Is it the right thing to do? What your local COVID restrictions are, because I know Liverpool's coming into force tonight. Please have a think about if you really want to do this. I can say from first-hand experience that the whole COVID-19 is very, very nasty. It put me off my feet for a number of weeks, and my asthma, which is usually so well controlled, is currently just coming back to, I'm probably only about 90% still, and that was April when I had COVID-19, and it's probably one of the worst things I've ever suffered from, and believe me, I've had some stupid illnesses. How are we, Mr. Gayler? Have I rumbled along a bit too?
No. It's quite cool, actually. I was trying to work out, but without reading the instructions, at the back of the machine armrest, there's this little thing here, and you screw it open. It's got a waterproof thing in it. 2 little batteries going there. I like these sort of things because you don't see these on the adverts. And if I put the batteries in right...
Ba, 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 ba.
So here you can change your things. I don't know. But, oh, that's not bad.
That's getting some distance.
That's quite a distance. That's quite a distance. So I haven't read the instructions, but like most kids, but there's
it's all going off.
But this pinpointer function here.
Right, yeah.
Oh yeah, see the red light?
Yeah.
That's quite cool actually, because that gets brighter the closer you get your pinpointer over it. So maybe that's something that's coming in the future on Nocta machines. I don't know. But yeah, great little machine. These are really good rubbery keys. And like I said,
it's the Titanic.
Yeah, it's yeah. So this doesn't do anything. I think it's just for show. This little clear bit. But yeah, so no. Yeah, first little unboxing with this, and I'll if you see me in the field hobbling about with it, I'll be testing it out. But for quality, I mean, God, can you imagine getting this when you're a kid at Christmas? Honestly.
Yes, I know somebody who will be.
Look at that. It's really nice looking as well. Really, really nice looking. This is the proper BMX that you wanted when like metal detector. Do you know what I mean? When you're a kid,
Yeah.
I wanted BMX, and this was the one everyone wanted.
It wasn't a grifter with some pads on.
I actually had a second-hand grifter stuck in third gear with the bit of the seat that had been ripped away. But yeah, I loved it, and it did. So yeah, that's the MIDI Horde. The difference between the Mini and the MIDI is the size of the shaft, I think, and also the coil, I think. But don't get me wrong, but best to look at Nocta Macro. But yeah,
is it fully submersible?
Yeah, up to 1 meter.
Because as Scott DeBay's just said, it'd be good for adults snorkeling beaches as well.
Yeah,
because with the light coming on, if you're below water, you got your stem down, you're doing a bit of snorkeling with one of them, and surely that light flashing will be red to green. That'll be a fantastic thing.
Scott's actually hit the nail on the head, because my mate's got the scuba detector thing, and it's probably not a million miles off that. Yeah. When you think how much they cost, so you can let your kids play with it on the beach for whatever.
No. Just take it off them and go snorkeling.
When you've had 4 or 5 pints, you can then go into the sea and have a play with it. And one thing not to do, which with the new SP22 and SP24 coils that are available for the Simplex now, which I've been testing for the last month or so, they're solid coils. They are solid coils. And like this, it's quite heavy, the coil. The coil's probably 50% of the machine's weight, but there's a reason on that, and that's because of the buoyancy. So when you go into the water, if you've got a light coil, it's constantly going to be floating to trying to push itself up. Whereas this, I know it's full of copper windings, but the balance is right. So I reckon if you put this in the water, strap around your arm, and like Scott said, scuba detect on the surface, it worked really well. Yeah, I mean, it goes like that. So,
Metal Detecting Devon says, does it have a headphone hole?
No. But it could be like the drum kit at Christmas, couldn't it? I know what he's saying. I don't know. I think it's got a volume. I'm not sure. No, it hasn't got a headphone socket.
And the shaft will fill with water.
Yes. But there's a gap at the bottom for the water to come out.
Darren Booth says the MIDI Horde has more functions, more discrimination, and 3 tones, low, medium, and high, but no headphone sockets.
No.
So you won't actually want to take your kids detecting with you at the end of the day, then?
Well, it's not too loud. It's got quite good depth on it. Quite impressed, actually. But yeah, so I'll tell you what I do like. I do like the way the coil wire is in there.
Yeah.
Because that's...
I like the curly whirly of it as well, because obviously if things are getting pulled by kids, the curly whirly's going to jump back together, isn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah. And it does fold down. It's quite compact. Fit in the boot quite easily.
It looks like it's something that could, excuse the language, take some shit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Proper. To be honest, it's stronger than the Simplex. And I think the bottom shaft is aluminium, actually. Tubular aluminium. I don't think it's plastic. Because you can see in there.
Metal Detecting Devon says, what did the drummer call his twin daughters? Anna 1, Anna 2.
That's good. That's good.
Scotty B says, for £100, it's a belter in my eyes. Headphones are not for £100. It's nothing what you could pay for a pair of trainers or even a trip to the pub.
Yeah, it is a trip to the pub. But you look at the size of that.
Yeah.
That's fully extended. So I'd say...
You could actually use that normally, just bent over a little bit.
Yeah, I'd say easily up to 13 years old. Probably from 8 to 13. But again, it's all on the Knock to Macro website. I've got a little book there with everything on. And it is really basic. It is really, really basic. Gives you some little pictures and stuff.
Well, I'll be honest, for me, personally, I will be getting one for my boy simply because he wants to do it, he loves to do it, and it's a game changer in the sense that children like him, like Luke's daughters, like Scotty's children, will all have the opportunity to metal detect well from a young age as opposed to picking up the pap on Amazon.
Yeah, I think that could put kids off buying the really rubbish machines. You're genuinely going to find stuff with this, aren't you?
That picture that Luke just shown then, the machine itself in that position looks like a Klingon battle cruiser.
Yeah, it can.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
No, not that one. The picture he had on anyway. That one, Klingon battle cruiser. Look at that. Ideal age is 4 to 8 for the mini horde. Let me just see when we go up if I missed anything. No. Operating frequency 15 hertz. Audio tones 2. Pinpoint, yes. Discrimination iron. Discrimination LED. Indicator pinpoint and discriminated depth indicator. The internal coil should be on adult machines too. Looks better. Love it. 3 levels battery indicator. Yes. Auto shut off and alarm. Yes. Search coil 15 centimeters or 6 inches. Display custom LCD weight 780 grams, 1.7 pounds. Length 63 centimeters to 90 centimeters. 2 batteries with a warranty for 2 years. Klingon green as well. Well done, Scott.
Mad, isn't it?
What was I going to say then? I was going to say something. Let me go back to that the alarm. Yes, shut off. Something just spared me mind then. Weight. What is the weight in comparison to adult machines? Is it as light as a Deus, for instance?
I'd say it's lighter than a Deus. So, what's the Simplex? The weight? I don't think it says the weight. Has it got the weight on the website?
The weight is 780 grams or 1.7 pounds.
Yeah, not heavy at all. Not heavy at all.
I'll be for anybody know what anybody who could quickly jump on and find out what, for instance, the Deus being the lightest machine in my mind. What would be
about the same?
Really? Might get one myself. The Simplex is £2, £2.5.
Yeah.
And the Darren says that it weighs 1.9 pounds, so I'm presuming that's the Deus. So it's actually lighter than the Deus as well. So Deus weight £2 with remote and £1 15 ounces without remote. So yeah, it's lighter. Fair play.
It's a bit like the Apex, to be honest. It's like a mini Apex. Same sort of weight, a bit lighter than the Apex. Same sort
Marvelous.
of. Yeah.
Well, that was definitely interesting. I enjoyed the little hoard there, and I know I've been saying from Detectival last year when I was talking to Dilek about it, and she was showing me the one that they had there. I said straight away, I definitely need one of them. Not for me, for the boy, obviously, but definitely need one of them. And from all the information that's coming out, and obviously having seen it firsthand tonight, it's a definite. It's put my name down on the list. Absolutely.
I think it's going to open up the hobby, the demographics, the age, people detecting. I did it when I was really young because my granddad did it. But if this is available in shops as well as detecting distributors, kids will buy this and they'll probably start and carry on from the age of 18. Whereas predominantly people in the hobby, sort of mid to late 40s predominantly. It'd be nice to get some young people in it. I shouldn't say that really, should I? Because they're fitter and stronger than us and they'll take the fines. But anyway, yeah.
I think as well, for the likes of me, me and my son are close anyway. We do a lot of things together. He's been helping me make the shed. I've been teaching him all about tools. He was pulling nails out of the old roof, etc., because I didn't want to because I'm lazy. But for him to say, Dad, can we go metal detecting on Sunday? Instead of me actually having to walk around with him with the Simplex, he's got his own machine. He can, as long as he's in sight, he can do his own thing and shout me over if he needs to. Dig what he wants, learn from the machine itself. And I think there's a lot of parents that are going to become a lot more active with the children, especially in these days where things, you can't go places. You can't do what you did last year.
No, that's right. I mean, potentially as well, it'll introduce people into the hobby who've never even thought about it before.
Yeah.
And if their little boy enjoys it, may even open up more permissions because they might understand that we're not out there just to find gold and make millions. We genuinely like discovering history. And there may be a farmer whose kid wants a metal detector and he buys in this and then realises how much his son loves it and might say, well, I'll let other detectorists on my land.
Or bring parents into the hobby themselves.
Yeah. There's not enough.
I take it you're going to be how old's your child?
Mine?
Yeah.
One's 20 and a paramedic, but she's close to me, so she wants to come out and detect soon. But with COVID and all that, she's been really busy. But she's slightly interested in it. My son, he's 17. No.
So I meant to say that you're not keeping it for your son then.
No, someone put in. Can we raffle it off? Well, I suppose we could do. I need to check that it hasn't got to go back because it's not a prototype. This is actually one you will buy in the shops. So I will speak to the grand man at Treasure Hunting Magazine and see what he has to say because I reckon a lot of people will be after this Christmas. I mean,
Metal Detecting Devon asks, am I in any clubs? I'm the chairperson of Tempest Metal Detecting and Archaeology. The actual name is Tempest Archaeology and Metal Detecting Group. So yes, I say chairman, I'm loosely the chairman of Tempest because I hate doing it. But I'm the one who's always told I am doing it. I think there's about 10 of us who've become reasonably close friends through doing it. And I see two of them, well, obviously not as regularly as I'd like these days, but due to COVID, basically there's nothing gone on for quite some time now. And illnesses within the group itself, there's one or two people who haven't been too good. So, yes, I am a member of Tempest, and I also go out, or was going out, again, before COVID, with Dudley Metal Detecting Group as well. So, yes, that's me. So, are you in any groups, Adrian?
Yeah. I'm in Braintree Metal Detecting Club in Essex. Funny enough, it only started up 3 years ago. It was classic. Advert in the paper. My mother-in-law found it. Turned up at a country pub in Essex. 5 blokes sitting around a table, wondering if the club's going to sort of get any bigger. first time 5 people around the table. Lisa, you know, Julian Evanhart's partner.
Yeah.
She was there, and the next meet we had 40 people turn up at the pub, and the third month we had over 100.
Wow.
And then it got out of control, so we had to move to a bigger pub, and now I think we've got about 250 members.
Bloody hell.
But there's a waiting list. It's a problem, clubs. I mean, it gets addressed now and again online. People sort of, I can't get in a club, but it's a problem. It is a real problem because it is good. I recommend being in a club.
But at the same time, people complain that they can't get in a club. It's not manageable over a certain amount of people.
Exactly.
I couldn't manage with more than 10. I just didn't have the infrastructure to be able to do anything more than that. And I know each person personally, and we are good friends. Where 250 people, to me, I wouldn't be able to get my head around that personally.
It's like a school class. You get good kids, you get bad kids, and
I'd be the bad kid.
Yeah, I know you would be. But you fill in your holes, and we have strict rules. We have marshals. We've got a PA system in the pub. But you get people who come and join the club who've been thrown out of other clubs. They don't fill their holes. They don't take iron out when they're digging and stuff like that. But Brian, who runs the club, he's a great guy. He struggles because it's a lot of members. And then you've got to take all the money for the membership. And we have raffles and stuff, but it's so good because as a hobby, if I take up squash or cricket, I'll go in a shop and I'll try a squash or a cricket bat. With metal detecting, there aren't that many dealers. And really, when you're spending, at least 200-300 quid, potentially more, maybe more, on a machine, you really want to pick it up, hold it, touch it, feel it. You know, you can write reviews, which help support your choice, but in a club, you can turn up. What have you got? Oh, I've got this. Why have you got that? And you can have a play with it. So it does. If you can get in a club, it really does help. But what I find frustrating is a lot of clubs will not take any more members on. And surely in this day and age, there must be a way of rotating memberships or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you get clubs with members, and then suddenly. I see people are posting stuff in the comments. You might get Keith, who's in his late 70s, who's been a member for 20 years, but he comes to one club meeting and one dig a year. Do you know what I mean? It's something which is hard.
Luke does some good things with his group. It's Peaky Finders, it's now called. It was South East Metal Detecting. And they run digs, obviously, for anybody to go along to. And Luke's always there on hand with metal detectors for people to try themselves. They like the Simplex, like the Rutus, such like. Yeah. He's there with them. And he'll spend time with people just playing with them machines and giving them a brief of that. Great little story here. Stan's lad. I still go detecting with Dad. We're out this weekend. I'm 57 and he's 91.
I'd love that. My dad used to detect years ago and he's too ill now for it, but I think it's good bonding. And there's a little bit of competition, isn't there? There's always a bit of competition. Yeah.
If my dad was still alive, obviously the image a lot of people know of with me and my dad metal detecting back in the 70s with the C-Scope 600 series. He'd have loved to have been out and about now. My uncle who died last year and my uncle who's still alive in Anglesey, the three of them used to go together back in the 70s, beaches and whatnot, and Frodsham Caves, which hilariously Gary Brunn knew all about because he's from Frodsham. So, I'd love to have been in. I'd have loved to have been more interested when I was younger to appreciate what I appreciate now. Metal detecting Devon, when he lived in Chester, I was in the South Lancs and Cheshire MD Club in Runcorn in the 90s. Brian Kloss and his wife Mo, great friends. And they, of course, run a UK Detector Network forum, which I'm a member of. And they do themselves a monthly PDF magazine. I think they still do anyway, because they were nobody was putting anything in, so they were getting a bit despondent, I think, with that. But I hope they're still doing that. I was actually in a West Kirby metal detecting group back in the early 2000s as well, but obviously came out it for a while. Anyway, shall we wrap up for this evening, Mr. Gayler?
Yes. Sorry we couldn't have the guest on. Shame.
Yes. No idea what happened to him. I've been checking my messages throughout. He did have the link for the show as well, just in case. So unfortunately, we do apologise for tonight's guest not being on the show. But thank you, obviously, to Mr. Gayler, who's my co-host this evening, and being able to discuss the mini horde and everything else. It's been fantastic.
Next week will be good with Martin Bass. Those who don't know him, he's worked for C-Scope for a long, long time, and they've been as you know, Dave, they've been making detectors for 40 years, I think.
Yeah.
40 years. So UK company, British, really interesting because you could post some questions in there about how do you make coils, or why are your machines certainly not mixed frequency. So it'd be good if some people had some questions to help us ask him, because I've got some. But it's very interesting. The only UK manufacturer left of metal detectors.
So if anybody wants to go away and have obviously a lot of you do know about C-Scope, but anyone who's going to have a little bit of a look up on C-Scope and come up with some questions. And Tony, as we said, no idea about the Roman horde. No idea what's happened. Unfortunately, I can't speak for the guest. Hopefully he will contact us, as he may have just totally forgotten. So all we can do is apologise. So anyway, without further ado, it's been a pleasure as always, Adrian. Thank you for all and sundry for watching. I always say listening. I'll say listening as well, because this will be in podcast form at some point as well. So good night, everybody. And thanks, obviously, to Luke for running the show in the background as ever. So we'll see you next week, 8 o'clock on Thursday. In the meantime, don't forget to share your finds in the Big Metal Detecting Show. No, the Big Detecting Show Facebook group. Stop renaming things, David and Luke. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Our most loved ones, kids, hooked on technology and disconnected from nature. And we, as parents, try to encourage them to go outside, explore and play, and teach them history. Yet, it seems hopeless at times. Nocta Macro. Introducing the world's first waterproof kids detector series. Mini and Mini Horde. Easy to use. Lightweight and compact. Finds, discriminate, and pinpoint. Just like an adult's detector. Share your hobby with your kids to build great family memories. Let your kids discover a world full of adventure. Experience and excitement of discovery right outside their door. Mini and Mini Horde. World's first waterproof kids detector series for the young treasure hunters of the future.